Hello everybody and welcome to episode 47 of the Chesterfield of Dreams, and today marks the halfway point of the season with the new year in full swing now, and the pressure is well and truly on for Chesterfield as we are now, by virtue of one game less played, we are now in the relegation zone with 4 wins, 4 draws and 12 defeats. If we look at the home and away records briefly, you can see we have a pretty reasonable home record, getting 3 wins and a draw, as well as 5 defeats and 0 goal difference, which could be pivotal for today. And then our away record is among the worst, with just 1 win, 3 draws and 7 defeats. So we've really got to book up our ideas somehow, but there are some results that will give us a lot of confidence going forward. But we need to get those wins on the board, and we play Watford for the second time this season. I won't live com that one actually. We'll just leave that for later. But we will be doing live comms later on when we play the bottom battle sort of teams. But here's a look at our schedule since we last met at this derby game, and unfortunately we failed to win ever since that game. So it looked like we're on the up and up, but it's proven to be a false dawn, especially as the previously winless Tottenham absolutely destroyed us at the new White Hart Lane. It was a 6-1 thrashing, and it was from this beginning with Harry Kane to the very end with Ramon Aziz. A hugely disappointing result, considering we should have been more confident than them. And then FM just started to be FM in more ways than one, and we begin with this tragic loss at home to West Brom. We had 5-minute stoppage time when only 3 were awarded, and right at the death, Brown Idei, who came off the bench on the 62nd minute, capitalised on the substitution that added time, and they scored their goal. So really bad result. We should have done better. And then talk about this result, I'm going to show you the goals that Yairo Mensah scored in this one, or at least the goal that Yairo Mensah scored. But you can see here we didn't deserve to win, but we were just minutes away from a stunning 2-0 win, and just to lose the points like that really hurt. Joe Allen got the 93rd minute equaliser, so Chesterfield really did themselves a bit of injustice, but it was a fair result considering how much we were pounded. But in fairness to the goalkeeper, he was outstanding. He was tipping balls onto the bar, blocking and re-blocking. But let's just take a look at this Yairo Mensah goal really quickly now. It's an absolute stunner. Okay, so here's a look at the highlight now. Yairo Mensah picking up the ball from the halfway line, sprinting past 3 and 4 defenders and burying it for the goal. So running from the halfway line to the opposite end of the pitch, that was fantastic, and it really got us going. But once Benicaffobe scored, I thought we had it won, but it wasn't to be, which is a real shame. Sunderland and QPR gave us 3-1 hammerings home and away. You can see it was rather harsh since we did have a chance to get draws or wins out of the results, but we just couldn't hang on in there, and we ran out of steam towards the end. A mixed draw here against Sheffield United. It was one we couldn't afford to lose. One of the most evenly matched games you could ever see, but Harry Wilson initially gave Sheffield United the lead, and Dial Fry with a set piece equalised, so he's finally in the starting 11. He's doing a super job, so well done to him. But that could have been the one game we really expected to win. But then with the huge mammoth tasks in the Christmas period against Manchester United and Chelsea, I think we really did ourselves credit. We only lost 2-0 at Old Trafford, and then this at the Lampard Park, from 2-0 down we managed to salvage a draw. That was absolutely incredible. And yet again, I'm going to show you a Yairo Mensah goal. We were pummeled from beginning to end again, but I think we're finally starting to get used to our tactics and how to approach these kind of games. We're just going to savour the moment here. Look at this goal. Jake Gray picks it up. Here's Yairo Mensah from way out, beats 4 defenders and smashes it in off the post, and that really got us going. His 9th of the season, and we'll be looking at those stats again in a moment. But that was a super goal. And then the debutant Tom Bertram making his substitute appearance from the injury table. He's finally recovered, and he got his goal to equalise. And then they had a man sent off, but we decided not to go for the broke, and we settled for the point. And then against Manchester United, we were only outplayed by Romelu Lukaku. He was on form despite being knackered, and Ollie Banks gave us hope with a penalty, but the Belgian Red Devil, as the Belgian national team is called. He got the brace that sent us packing. But now we've really got a task in our hands. We don't expect results against Arsenal or Everton, but Villa and Watford are huge games before we enter the basement battles. I really don't know. We'll have to try our best with the home games. Arsenal will be a tricky challenge, but it's just a matter of getting my tactics right, because you can't enter the game with standard and flexible. You have to mess around and think about what you're going to do. But usually counter and rigid, or as it's now known as structured, that seems to get the job done. But it's just very tricky to get the balance right. We'll take a look now at the stats at the halfway point and see how everybody's doing. We'll begin with the appearances, and top of the list is Kostas Triantafylopoulos. He's got 17 starts and 2 goals. Ronnie Pinho has been very impressive, getting 16 starts. Linus Muller in goal, 16 starts. Lenihan, not so great, but he's been starting very regularly, which is good for him. Jairo Mesa there, 15 starts, 4 substitute appearances. Valagusa, Arloni from Inter Milan there. Stephen Kinsella, Loftus-Cheek, Kavanagh, Gore, Boring and McCarthy complete 10 or more appearances, and you can see some other guys are trying to claw their way in to their 10th start. Lee Griffiths, obviously they're struggling away. In terms of the goals, it's been all about 2 people. Jairo Mesa, you've just seen him, and 2 of those goals, and he's getting better and better as his value continues to rise. Stephen Kinsella, he's not scored in a good while now, but he's got 5 in the league, 1 in the cup, and he's been a superb loan signing, and we'll miss him against the Everton game due to cup tie, or not cup tie, loan parent club rules. Benik Afobe, 3 goals. Triantafylopoulos and Ollie Banks have 2, and then Valagusa, Bertram, Fry, McCarthy, Gore, Kavanagh, Armstrong, Wilson, Reddington and Griffiths all have 1 goal. Some other notable names without a goal: Loftus-Cheek, Pinho, and obviously Adam Armstrong, who's been injured, has only got 1 goal to his name, so that's a bit disappointing. Jake Gray, nothing, and that's Matthew Targett, no goals, and that's pretty much that. We'll take a look at the average ratings. Jairo Mesa well ahead with 7.17. Sean Kavanagh, credit to him, 7.15. Kinsella 7.0. Brian Boring 6.99. That is fantastic for such a young man of 18 years, but mostly he's been okay in the league, but in the cups he's been very good. Dahl Fry is just getting into the starting 11. He's doing well. Then in terms of the bottom here, you can see Adam Armstrong, not really fair to comment. Matt Doherty, very poor. Lee Griffiths, he's just a little overawed. He's getting old now, and it's just a shame that he's worked so hard to get us to this stage, and he just cannot fathom the work required. It's just a real shame. Sam Morsey down here, Jake Gray, Brian Lenihan, as I mentioned, Loftus-Cheek not really doing too well, and then Jakob Brynne, we're re-registering him into the team and letting go of Anthony Halsey, as he has been unhappy with his role on the bench, which is fair enough, but I just don't see the potential for him to grow, considering we just brought in Linus Muller, who we'll show you now. He's been very good, but in terms of keeping clean sheets, it's a long, difficult ask. He's only kept 3, which is understandable, but we really need to improve that as the season goes on. But that's all I need to say about that. In terms of finances, 20 million in the black, which is amazing considering how very few fans we can get into the stadium. So we're getting loads and loads of TV money, and it's just unreal. We really will grow as a club as the years go by if we keep this up. The facilities are going well. In terms of the transfer business, you can see I've mentioned Halsey. He's off if he accepts the contract offer from Southampton. I just want to get rid of him dirt cheap. Luke O'Neill was a great servant, and unfortunately I didn't have room for him in my updated Premier League squad, so he's going to be gone, which is a shame. And then Stephen Kingsley, same sort of thing, not as long with the club, but still fantastic to give him moments of salute. I'm considering letting go of other players since they were moaning at me saying, oh, please pick me or sell me and all that sort of rubbish, but that's just something you just have to deal with. I don't really want to sell Jack Price or Sam Mersey, but if there are better midfielders in the world, we may as well try and bring him in. And Jake Gray wants to leave as well. We don't really have much room for right midfielders, but you just have to tell them some things and try and get them sold. But we still have another 28 days in the transfer market, so there's no rush. But we'll consider our deadline day. I don't want to rush, but I will probably consider using deadline day. We're very low on transfer budget, but we can always readjust that if necessary. We can always go up a couple of million, but we don't really have the spending money, so we might have to consider a few dead cheap transfers. But in terms of our staff, we are nice and full, apart from the scouts and the under 18 staff. You don't really need them. The chairman couldn't sell the club. He wants to leave, but he just couldn't sell it for the second time in just a matter of a few months, which is very strange. But Chesterfield will try and live another day. It's just going to be very, very difficult. We have to beat Watford. I think they've been out of this world for the short amount of time they've been in the league. So credit to them. They're nice and comfortable at the moment. But a win at home will get us on 19 points, and with our superior goal difference, we will go straight up to 14th place and right behind Tottenham, who are starting to finally play like the club they are. Manchester United miles ahead in the league. You can not be surprised. We really gave them a good run for their money. But Chelsea, I don't know what happened to them. Newcastle 4th, Man City and Liverpool struggling away there. QPR and Swansea doing well. And that's pretty much it. We'll show you the team stats and the attendance by capacity. It's 99.52, ahead of Manchester United and Leicester City and Watford and so on and so forth. So fantastic attendances from the majority of clubs, but Tottenham, because of their bad form, lost out on thousands of fans. And then in terms of the numbers, you can see we're 8,000 behind Watford. That is just a gulf in terms of population, and I don't know how much more we can improve that score, but we're very happy in the Proax Stadium. There's no point abandoning it so soon, but it's just being in the Premier League, either for one season or for many more to come. It is just a massive ask. You can just see it there. Massive gulf between the clubs. So that's really all I need to say, guys. Thank you very much once again for your support. 5 likes would be amazing again, but at this stage it's just no pressure. You can do as you like. But it's been a phenomenal series. I've loved recording them the last few weeks, and with the big game, I'd like to live com Leicester. That's going to be a massive one. We got 2 home games we need to win there. That'll give us belief, and then we'll try and get something out of Arsenal and Everton as well. But the big game against Watford, you're going to find out about that later on today, but it's not going to be in this episode. It's gone on long enough. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and we'll speak again soon. Goodbye. I couldn't leave you on a sort of sad note. We've just finished this game against Watford, and it was incredible. Once again, we have really shone with Yaro Messa and Stephen Kinsella, our 2 best players this season, absolutely ripping the Hornets to shreds, and it was a truly satisfying performance. First half of magic. Mesa hat-tricks, Kinsella as well from a rebound, and that is just how you do it. Real pressure situation, and my boys turned it into a day to remember. We are now 14th in the league, but we are not looking up. We are still looking behind. We cannot let this get to our heads. But with a big game against Arsenal coming up, that is how you lift the pressure off your shoulders and end an ignominious sort of losing streak. That is brilliant. And thank you for watching. We'll speak again soon.